Hello, Mariners. So, I am here to give you some life hacks. Um, what you guys have been thrust into because of this distance learning is very comparable to becoming an adult. And quite frankly, it's a little premature for a lot of you guys. This is a huge challenge. I remember I struggled with this greatly when I was first transitioning into college and I was having to live on my own and figure out how to manage all my responsibilities. And believe me, I fell numerous times, metaphorically speaking. And I messed up. And it's those mistakes that help us figure out how we're going to pull ourselves back up and get this thing resolved, this thing we call life. So I don't know if what I'm about to show you is going to help. I hope it is. Hopefully, you can take some of this stuff and apply it to your own life and figure out how to make the rest of your semester successful. But I will tell you some things, and I'll give you little nuggets of knowledge along the way. I have learned that most definitely, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. I am not saying that you need to plan out or schedule every single moment of your day. Life is full of spontaneity and excitement, and you should embrace that, especially during this time. But I am saying that if you have no plan, you have no schedule, you have no organizational element to your day, it shouldn't be a huge surprise that you are falling behind on things or that you forget things from here and there, because our life is complex and we need to stay on top of it. So what I've created here for you guys is a weekday schedule template that I want you guys to create for an assignment for my class, because I believe that this will help you. I'm going to start by showing you guys my sample. Believe me, you are not the only one struggling with all of this. And the schedule I'm about to show you has changed numerous times because my children's schedule with their teachers has changed. The demands on me as a teacher has changed. I feel like change is the only thing that we can really count on at this point. So let's look at my most recent sample. And I included it on your Google Sheet as well so you could see what this looks like. In my family, I need to separate it according to the four of us and how we're going to juggle it all. Specifically, adults and children, right? Because we can't just have people doing things, or I got distracted. We can't have our kids doing things without our supervision, but there's sometimes where they need that balance between doing nothing and doing schoolwork. So you'll see here that on the left-hand side, I have all of the times. And during the earlier part of the day, I split it up by half hours because some of the things that my kids need to do are at half-hour marks, not at hour marks. So that's an example of how you could customize your own schedule as well. All I did was I clicked on the row, I right-clicked on it, and I inserted that row above. And then you just move things around and manipulate your schedule to fit your needs. So you'll see here that in the morning we wake up, I have my own certain things to do. Then you'll notice too that by 8 o'clock we are starting our day. I am not a fool. I know that the average teenage student at Pacifica High School is not waking up that early in the morning. And you know what? I'm not going to fight that fight. If you want to stay up till 4 in the morning and get up at noon, figure it out. But here's the thing that I do know. All of you, all of us, have 24 hours in a day. The question becomes, what are you going to do with those 24 hours? It's not like some of us have more and some of us have less. It's about choices, and how you're choosing to schedule your time will directly impact your success rate through all of this. So you'll see that we're starting earlier because I have small children. They're not sleeping in till noon. I'm also not letting them go to bed that late. They are going to bed, as you'll see down here, they are going to bed at 8:30, maybe 9. You're also going to notice, because you can look at a lot of this on your own, and I highly doubt that my personal life is of that much interest to you. But I show this to you because I want you to see how I've color-coded things. All right, green means academic time, right? Let me decline that real quick. Red means that my husband and I are responsible for children's learning. Blue means that it's my work time. Purple was exercise. Yellow is the kids' exercise and other types of things. So it doesn't matter if my colors make sense to you. What matters is the colors make sense to me. And that's what's going to happen in your schedule. So I'm going to move away from this slide only because I want to focus more on how you create your own. But I will tell you before I move on, this has saved our family because, and this was something I developed, like I said, over time, but having that structure for our small children, ages 9 and 7, is helpful. But I'll let you in on a little secret. It's more helpful for my husband and I because we're losing our minds. But this has helped create some sanity. So let's look at what I want you guys to do. The first thing, and I gave this some thought, I want you to do is I want you to look over here in this gray area I've created for you. I want you to first list all of your classes. And then I want you to choose from the drop-down menu that I've chosen or that I've created for you to say whether it's a high stress, medium stress, or little stress. So I'm going to do a sample course. And I'll do this for a 10th grader, just because there's more 10th graders that are watching this than 9th graders. But obviously you can apply this to any grade. So let's say your first period is chemistry. Your second period is world history. Your third period is English. Your fourth period is Spanish 2. Fifth period, geometry. And sixth period, photography. Okay. Obviously, there's lots of variables in this, but I'm just choosing something. Now I'm going to go through and arbitrarily choose some random options. I don't even know what I'm choosing right now. I'm just kind of doing this randomly. Okay. So, as you can see from this, you have one class in this hypothetical situation that is of high stress. You have 3 that are medium and 2 that are little. I don't know what yours is going to look like, but of course all of us are going to be different. But I do have a couple scheduling strategies for you before we move on to the actual scheduling time. One suggestion is to place your higher stress level classes first in your day. Another suggestion is to alternate easy and hard classes. Don't do hard, and then easy, because your brain can only handle so much at one time, and you should know this about yourself. Schedule rewards or breaks after you successfully finish your commitment to a challenging classes schedule. So schedule in those things. You have ultimate freedom here. There's no bell being rung telling you, hey, you got to go to your next class. You are the bell. So you have to decide, I know I really struggle with, let's say in this example, chemistry. I know that if I can get through an hour of chemistry, whatever that hour is, that next half hour, I'm going to reward myself with blank, right? Whatever it is that you do to de-stress. Then I'm going to hit my medium classes, and then I'll leave my low stress levels maybe to the end. This is by no means me telling you have to do this. I'm just trying to give you some advice. Lastly, my advice number 4 is schedule high stress classes for times when you are most alert and awake and focused. For some of you, that's right away in the morning. For some of you, that is not the case. So do what's best for you. Now, I'm going to wrap this up by showing you how you might actually do this in your actual schedule. And this, remember, you're going to submit this to me as a classroom assignment. So I have separated your life into 4 categories down here. The first category is academics, obviously. And I chose blue for Mariner Blue. So you're going to include in your schedule your class name, and then in parentheses, type in little reminders of daily tasks, or you can use this column here that I recently added for notes for tasks. And it'd be really helpful if I could type the word reminders correctly. We'll just fix that real quick. There we go. The next category of your life is life, right? Life is happening. Every moment of your day is not school. Shocker. A teacher just said that. No, but seriously, you have family responsibilities. Some of you a lot more than others. And I commend you for all of that. But you have to work around that, and you got to plan for it. You have chores. You have things like, oh, I don't know, brushing your teeth, showering, laundry, mowing the lawn, taking out the trash, helping prep dinner on certain days of the week. I don't know what your family system is. But doing life needs to be accounted for. And if you don't plan for it, you're going to find yourself getting overwhelmed for the times when you're frustrated and you're like, dang it, I didn't want to do X, Y, and Z. Well, I got news for you, kid. X, Y, and Z is part of life. You got to plan for it and you got to fit it in. Active time. This is huge. If you guys are not getting out of the house or at least doing something physical in the house, whether it be a workout video or a jog up the stairs, or who knows, walking the dog, um, you are not acquiring that balance, right? Our bodies were not meant to sit for that long of a period of time in a seated fashion kind of thing. So I am not saying go outside and go be unsocially distant. I'm saying do something active. And I'm also saying plan for it. When during the day do you feel you're the most antsy? Do you feel like you got to get out and do something? Or maybe you're not really an active person. Maybe this is a stretch for you, but it's still part of you getting that physical fitness in so that your body doesn't get so, ugh, you know what I'm talking about. And then lastly, me time. You need me time. You need time where this is your alone time or your social time, whatever your, preference is. This is your time for Netflix and Hulu and YouTube and video games and silent reading and creative time and art and hanging out with the family, and maybe that's more lifetime, but do whatever. But these are the things that you look forward to, playing basketball outside, throwing the ball around, kicking the ball around, going on FaceTime with friends. By the way, have you heard of this really cool new app? I don't even know if I'm allowed to share this. It's called House Party, where you meet up with each other and you guys can schedule times to hang out. I mean, having that part of your me time where you are with others when we're so isolated is important. You need to schedule that in. And I have that scheduled in my calendar. You know I do. I have every Friday at 5 o'clock, I have some of that scheduled in. On Thursdays at 4 o'clock, I have one scheduled. Saturdays at 2 o'clock, I have another group of friends that meets. Like, granted, we're adults and we're used to scheduling because we are scheduling masters, but we do schedule that in because we know we need that human connection time. So when is that time going to be for you? So all of this business here, you don't have to use just these four. If you want to add a fifth one that's, I don't know, purple or something, that hits another category that you feel is very separate than these four things, go for it. I want you guys to have as much freedom on this as possible. I want this to work for you. So I'm going to show you how to do this. I'm trying to keep this under 15 minutes. So let's see if I'm successful. Let's say your chemistry class is your highest stress. And let's say you are sleeping, but you're like, you know what? If I were to go to bed by like 1 in the morning, I could definitely get up and get my act together by 10. So let's pretend in this scenario, you are a 10 a.m.er and you are starting actually at 9:30. You're getting up. You are, this is kind of why I wish this was all by half hours. You could totally switch all this and change this by half hours too. Just by going like this, right clicking, inserting below, and making all of this a half-hour time frame. Watch. Here I go. I'm making this new borders, and instead of 8 to 9, I'm now going to do 9 to 9:30, right? 9:30 to 10, etc. I'm going to pause real quick and fix this for you guys because I think half hours will be better. All right, so I added in all these times for you guys. Now it's at the half-hour mark. So let's say here at 9 to 9:30, you're still sleeping, you're snoozing, and then I think I'm going to move this over too. Notice if I hover over, this whole column can move over in its width, just like that. 9:30, I am waking my butt up out of bed. Wake up, tea, shower, whatever your jam is, breakfast, maybe some coffee, whatever works for you. All right, blah, blah, blah. Maybe you want to make sure to, remember, don't forget to feed the dog. I don't know. By the by, we are getting a puppy this week. Woo, woo. I know, I'm crazy, but this is going to be very exciting. My kids are excited. Okay, 10 o'clock means that you are starting right away in the day, maybe, I don't know, hypothetically, with your high stress class. So here is chemistry. And remember, the color is this blue color. So if you click here, you'll see I chose this guy right here. So I'm scrolling up. I'm clicking that. I'm going to bold it because I think I want to really I'm going to make chemistry happen. And I'm going to make it blue. Bam. But let's be real. Half hour of chemistry, probably not enough. We are copying and pasting that business and doing it again. Another option to having it doubled up like that, because it can get overwhelming to see too many things, is watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to delete that one, but I'm going to grab this one, drag down to this one, so now I have two cells open. And see this little buckaroo right here that says merge cells? Ding! Oh, look at that. Between 10 and 11, all in there. You want to get really fancy? You want to center that business? Go ahead and do that. Center it again. Bing! All done. Okay. Now let's say you're like, okay, chemistry is not my jam. I'm really struggling with it, for example. Sorry, chemistry teachers, if you end up seeing this. This was super random. Then from 11 to 11:30, you know that you need to get the heck out of the house. This is you're gonna go jog or bike or move or whatever. And then down here, there's your me time. What color did I use? This little red one. Oh wait, no, not me time. I should not be in charge of this. Active time. So that yellow. I'm gonna click on the cell. I'm gonna make it yellow. Ding! All right. Maybe you're gonna invite your mom with you. I think you guys should invite your mom. Your dad too. Maybe your sibling. Just have fun with this. Get out of the house. Do something fun. All right, but by 11:30, gosh darn it, you are back in that seat, back in your bedroom, back in your chair, wherever you are, and you are getting into your next class. So let's say you want to make this really structured, and you're like, you know what? Not only is chemistry my highest stress class right now, but it's also my first period. I think what I'll do to create some consistency in my life is I'll make all my classes go in order. Because once you get past that one, you'll notice this in the example, the medium classes and the little stress classes are probably pretty comparable. So let's say you're going to start with world history, because that's the next one, right? You're going to type in world history. You're going to make this, blue again, because that's academic time. Maybe center it. Just have fun with this. But you think, based on what you know, because this is now your 5th week doing this, you guys know how much workload you have. You know that world history, for example, I'm not saying this about world history, I'm just saying an example. You know that if you were to legitimately do world history every day, that you could get this done in 20 to 30 minutes. Well, if that's the case, just do a half-hour time slot, right? And then if it's only a half hour, please don't give yourself a break already. Come on, you sit in our classes for almost an hour during the regular school day. You can't do that on your own in your classroom? What, you need a bell to tell you got to do that? No, you are the bell. Stay in your room, stay in the office, stay wherever you're at, and keep going. So, next class. In this theory, we are just going in order. You don't have to, but now we're going to do English. So all I did is I just Control-C'd that one, Control-V'd down here to paste it, and I called it English. So because your English teacher is absolutely crazy and you know that a half hour is not going to be enough, wink, wink, you're going to put English twice. Or you're going to delete it, you're going to highlight both, and you're going to merge it. Because you know that realistically, it's going to take an hour. But if you're doing this every day, it may not be an hour, right? So here's what you do. If you finish English class early, it's me time, right? And let's make that one red right down here. If you finish early, so embed that in. And since you woke up so late, like at 9:30, you don't need to eat lunch yet. Don't go get a snack. Oh, wait. Maybe a snack would be good. And in all fairness, you should have a snack. So let's say snack and snack / me time. So let's make that here. I'm so going past the 15-minute thing, but as you can tell, I'm having fun with this, right? I'm totally geeking out. And then you keep going. So I'm going to pause now, and I'm going to go and finish this potential schedule, and then I'll close it up in the next minute. Goodbye. 1 second. Here's this pretend schedule for you guys, and you'll see a couple things here. I went and added in Spanish and geometry only for a half hour each because according to your assessment over here, it was little amount of work. I added in some photography time because according to you, it was medium amount of work. So I give it a whole hour because maybe you really like getting into that project and you want to spend more time on that. Then I rewarded yourself with some me time. And then you're like, just in case you had a hard time focusing and you weren't able to get it all done, here's some extra time dedicated to get schoolwork done. If you have no schoolwork left to do, then this becomes free time. But it's nice to be able to have that block of time set aside just in case. And then, of course, we have things like, I don't know, dinner with the family, maybe some more active time outside. and then the rest of your evening is your time. What I want you to do when you're looking at this is not be like, whoa, 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 house, you have me working until 7 o'clock at night. That's way too long for a school day. Yeah, but if you add up the amount of time that you're spending in the blue zone here and compare it to a typical school day, you're going to see that this is actually less. And you're going to notice too, and I hope you notice soon, your teachers are dialing back. A lot of them aren't giving assignments that are as frequent or as fast as you would normally be getting them. So stop thinking about, ugh, I have to do schoolwork. Oh, this is so unfair. This sucks. Instead, realize this is your job. Becoming a strong, independent young adult is your job. You need to learn how this stuff so that you can thrive in this world. And maybe you don't get why this is important yet, but you will someday. You will. So just trust people like myself and your other teachers who care about you and your counselors and your administrators and your family. Get a schedule down, move forward with this, and submit this by the end of this week. If you need any help with this at all, if you're like, Google Sheets, I don't know how to do this, send me a remind text or an email and I will work through this with you. Best of luck to you. You are in control of your life. You are in control of your schedule. But remember, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Mwah! Love you guys.